Johnsson looking for three. Scores! Andreas Johnsson with the hat trick!
The path to prominence is never an easy one, and the journey getting there is measured not only in miles, but moxie, maturation, and the mentality to attain one's objective. And for Andreas Johnsson, that long trek to Toronto began in Sweden, spanned an ocean, overcame a language barrier, and ultimately defied scouting consensus who deemed his odds of eventually making it just as long. But in 2013, the Maple Leafs saw enough, and why not? Johnsson would prove to be yet another Swede drafted in the 7th round to make it to the NHL. An abundance of God-given skill included speed, intrinsically soft hands that, when combined with those fast feet, ultimately produced that $1 million smile that has lit rinks on both sides of the Atlantic. A championship won with Frölunda in Sweden, Johnsson would make his way to this continent in the spring of 2016. His pedigree may have included a title, but his attitude was anything but entitled. Earn his chance, seize the opportunity, and get on with the task of someday attaining his goal of making it to the NHL.
Is your goal next year to play in the NHL?
Yes. The guys that come in here and commit themselves to the process and really embrace the process of their own development and all of the resources that we have gotten a lot better. And they've ended up graduating on, and I think that only helps to reinforce what we're doing here.
And for the better part of the next 2 seasons, the Toronto Marlies provided the necessary stepping stone that saw Johnsson's progression grow leaps and bounds. Just as importantly was the recognition of head coach Sheldon Keefe to facilitate that transition to recognize his star pupils' attributes and tailor them to the North American game.
Up front, someone that kind of flies under the radar quite a bit, but had a great season beginning to end if you're measuring it that way in terms of pure development would be on Andreas Johnsson. He had a real bad injury at the end of last year and was a bit sluggish to start the season, and then as it kept rolling on and going, I thought he was one of the most dependable players on our club, and ended up producing very well for us. And he doesn't get a lot of attention, or isn't usually ranked highly in various discussions, but he's a real dependable guy and a very important prospect for us to put himself on the map with a great year.
Johnsson would soon merit a call-up that came in the spring of 2018 and ultimately led to a milestone first-ever National Hockey League goal, coincidentally on the ice with 4 Marlie graduates who all shared in this achievement. That highlight merely served as a prelude 3 months later to Johnsson's 2nd championship in 2 years, an MVP performance guiding the Marlies to a coveted Calder Cup as the city of Toronto celebrated its first professional hockey championship in 5 decades. And last season, his first full year of NHL employment included a memorable hat-trick on home ice, eventually joining Connor Brown and William Nylander as the most recent Marlie grads to score 20 goals in their rookie seasons. An organization gave Johnsson a chance. He rallied around it, and the man affectionately known as Johnny or Mango continues to go, driven by the heart of a Marlie, now thriving on his new life as a Leaf.